people don't talk about this because it seems kind of crazy, but it's absolutely true. You need to get a reverse osmosis water filter ASAP. If you can't afford one, save up for it. It should be one of your priorities in life. I'm not even joking. People really fucking drink tap water, bro. It's literally got fucking hormone, like it's got birth control hormones in. It's crazy. My estrogen has went down by about 50% since I got one. So coffee or caffeine pills can work really well. I used to drink coffee kind of in a fun way where as I was doing the task I was trying to focus in, I kind of, take a sip here and there. I've realized now like the point of this is specifically not just coffee, it's the caffeine in it. So what I do is I pretty much down the entire cup of coffee before I begin working. So that way the caffeine is inside of me. When you've got caffeine inside of you, you're pretty much just going to be more alert, focused, and therefore more likely to get into a flow state. Another thing is having the right level of challenge. To get into a flow state, the task that you're doing needs to be at the right level of a challenge for your current skills. So this is very similar to progressive overload. If we take you into the gym and you're used to doing 80 kg bench press, today we could challenge you and say, okay, try and hit 82.5 kg. And if we hype you up for it, because that's still like, all gym goers know this, even though that's only 2.5 kg, it can be kind of hard to hit that as like a new PR for the day, right? But let's say we hype you up for it and you get into a flow state because you're thinking, okay, 82.5 kg, that's what I'm going to hit today. I'm really going to try my best to hit that, right? Then you might do. But if, for example, we took you into the gym today, your usual bench press weight is 80 kg, and I said, oh, nah, do 100 kg, bro, and do it for reps as well. The challenges went so high relative to your skill. You know exactly what would happen if I force you to do 100 kg bench press. You'd start overthinking. You'd lose the flow of the workout. You'd lose your focus because you'd be thinking, oh no, I can't. No, it's going to mess up my routine. No, I had the plan for doing this. I was going to increase it by 2.5. Suddenly, before you know it, you're just completely distracted. So don't be like the beginner who comes in and tries to increase the weight that he uses in the gym by too much. Be the smart guy who just increases it very, very slightly over a long time. It's really easy to understand when we're talking about the weight that you lift in the gym because it's all numerical. When it comes to like actually the tasks that you do, it's kind of hard because how do you keep that to the right level? For example, how do I as a YouTuber make sure that recording a video like this is at the right level for me? Do you just like keep recording longer and longer and longer videos? My videos are quite long right now, but I'm not doing that for the purpose of like flow states, just because I think that these longer videos serve more education. The way that I make sure that the challenge is always up to my skill level is I keep the challenge exactly the same, but I keep leveling up my skills through, for example, reading books and implementing them and getting advice and, setting intentions to like level up one little bit. So maybe I'll look at like the camera more often tomorrow. Maybe I'll read a book on storytelling and I'll try and tell a better story. You keep the challenge the same whilst your skills go up to the point that it feels kind of boring to like do the task because it just feels kind of easy. So when, for example, recording feels like something that I don't even have to think much of, it feels kind of boring and plain and mundane. That usually means that I need to increase the challenge. So maybe I stay vigilant and speak in a way that would be more concise so that the video performs better, like I'm doing in this video. That's the challenge that I've set myself. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, but at the same time, you don't want to stay underneath your capabilities. You can also make your tasks more like a game. So a very simple game you could have if you're an author and you're writing a book on like Google Doc or something. Just look at the word count and see that as your score. So your word count right now is like 1,500 words, and it's almost like a score to think, okay, I'm going to get to 2,500 of my score, like the high score today. Oh, I wrote 1,500 words. That's like 1,500 points in this game. It's like a high score for me. And this makes you more likely to get into a flow state because it kind of triggers like the deep intrinsic motivation and enjoyment in the task. You can even use something as specific as your vision to help you focus and get into more flow states. I've mentioned a few times in this full guide that when I really want to focus, I'll almost squint my eyes like this in a bit of like an angry way. The reason why is because I've watched a Andrew Huberman podcast where he talks about literally like narrowing your eyes, not blinking, and like staring at a very specific small dot that you're like, it's a part of your task. So for me, I'm looking into like right into the camera lens, like right there. When you're scripting or you're writing something, you might look at like the most like latest sentence that's being put onto the screen. When you're studying, you might look at like each word that you're currently reading. If you narrow in your vision, usually it narrows in your thoughts as well. Likewise, if you've hiked up mountains recently, you'll know this. If you go to a place where your vision broadens out, so for example, you're on a mountain and you can see for like miles away from you, usually your thinking starts to broaden out and you start to have these very deep, big, high-level thoughts and desires. So for this actionable step, choose one small part of this video that you can see of mine that you're just going to stare at with like a squinted eye for the next like 5 to 20 seconds. Maybe like the tip of my mustache here, maybe my left eyeball here. Stare like with a squint of your eye, and you're going to force yourself to focus more than usual. Step 4, flow state in workouts. The majority of people work out in such a pathetic way. They go to the gym, they're trying to get into the zone, they're trying to perform well, and yet they keep checking their phone, they keep changing over to the next track of degenerate music, to the next song, to the next song. Here they are messaging someone on the rest break from weightlifting. Here they are talking to someone there. Absolutely no focus. You'll notice that the best athletes don't train like this. The best athletes seem very focused for all of their practice sessions. And this is like the mindset we need to have when we go to the gym, when we go train in a workout. We need to see it as like this practice session that we're trying to get continuously better. The overwhelming majority of guys who go to the gym, doing some weightlifting, they make all their muscle in like 1 year and then stop making gains after that because they stop challenging themselves. The challenge stays there, but their skill goes slightly above it, and that's why workouts just get more boring. Workouts, especially the ones where you're trying to build muscle and strength, they should be incredibly hard and strenuous. When you remember the first workouts that we did, the ones that really built a lot of muscle, how hard it was. You couldn't even open like your arm the whole way because you were so sore the day after of training biceps for the first time. It shouldn't be so different from when you become more of like an advanced athlete. It should be super difficult. You can show up to the gym and you can even physically train hard, but if you're not mentally in a flow state, you will not perform your best. You will not hit many PRs. You will not actually keep making gains.